Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, this is DemonStarCraft here, bringing you another good game between Requiem Halation and Requiem Rookie. This is going to be a little practice game they were playing yesterday. I was observing. I do enjoy casting these guys. They're a lot of fun. Good guys. They are kind enough to let me be a lurker in their vent channels and stuff, so I like to be kind and rewind and cast their games. And also, they're extremely good. I'm pretty sure... like, what is it? I think they have like 8 members, and like 6 of the 8 members are all in the top 200, so I'll have to make a list of it one day or something. Anyway, we got our first pylon going down here for the Protoss player, and of course the required supply depot for the Terran. Going to be a little ADD here with the mouse, clicking back and forth between the bases. Let's bring up our production tab so you can check out their builds if you really want to. I'm sure both of them love me for casting their games so much because I'm just giving away all of their ooby-gooby secret information. Requiem Rookie here is also known as Reach the Sky, but he did change it for the name because Reach the Sky would not fit with REQ in front. So that's about the explanation for that. Why he picked Rookie, I don't know. I might have gone with Rook. You know, like the chess piece. Just to prove that you're awesome. And that you only go sideways and up and down, or forward and backwards. Whichever way you want to look at it. So we will be having our gateway and barracks going down now for their respective sides. Not a whole lot going on, just some dancing around with these probes and SCVs. The probes turn around to give the SCV a little kiss, and they are going to have a little fun time together. Marine coming out here shortly. Probe's going to be trying to dance with death as the factory. I keep wanting to call it a factory. Barracks is now done, and so the Marines will be coming out, but for some reason that SCV went really slow. And did anybody else here see that? I was like, right there. Just like, I'm going to do it in slow motion. Now the SCV will be going to do some scouting for the... wrong button. For the Terran player here. Gonna kind of scoot down, check, make sure there's no fast expansions, but he will obviously not see one. Didn't really get close enough to find out, but here he goes up in here, checking to see what kind of shenanigans are going on, and making sure there is a gateway, which is always a key thing there. Because sometimes if you come up in here and you don't see a gateway, then you need to check around your base quickly, because somebody will be there. The submarine's now out for the Terran as a zealot has finished for the Protoss. Continuing to chrono boost out his... not continuing to, but he did chrono boost out that zealot and had started to chrono boost out. Wow, that is annoying. That is a fine little line right there where he can just get right in time to make that little Salmago watchtower go up and down, and I will stop watching that because that's going to give me a headache. We got 4 more barracks going down, or 3 more barracks to make a total of 4, and a command center, so he is going to be working on his expansion quickly to try and get the income to support 4 barracks, and probably a factory or 2 or 3 or however many he feels like, because that's the way he is. Very experimental, especially in these practice games. Robotic facility now going down for Halation, as he is also getting his second gateway. A little pressure applied here by Rookie would definitely cause a lot of damage in this early stages of the game, because he's only got 3. Oh, now it's both of them are doing it. 3 units? I wonder how that looks on the minimap. It's like little flashing eyes.
Research complete.
Warp gate research is now done, as you just heard. So he'll be getting out his warp gates, throwing down his expansion, so it looks like these expansions will be landing at the same time, but will not be... obviously he's going to be a little bit behind because he's just started building. His is already complete. So bunker down here just to reinforce this frontal area. We do have an observer now out for Halation. Some SCV is going to be transferring, getting the normal things done. We got Stim Pack and concussive shells being researched now, which will prove to be excellent use against the Protoss player, which that was the last game I just cast, was a Terran versus Protoss, because it just happened to be that way. And concussive shells do very well, except for when you're being force fielded to hell. Ah, the Immortal is coming out now as the robotics facility finished, and he is going to be building a second Immortal. Gonna not get that early Colossus, maybe going for a Colossus a little later in the game, but that probe is still going to be there. Quite annoying. Continuing to get Marines and Marauders. Do we have an engineering bay for upgrades? No, we do have a factory going down now. Still just more supply depots, factory. So these units are just going to start pouring out now for Rookie. Looks like we have an SCV coming up here that is going to get smashed in the face by that Immortal, who now has 1 kill. Like the hammer coming down, it was destroyed. Whew. I am obviously slacking because I forgot to bring something to drink, so thankfully I have a bottle of Coke sitting here. Take a quick swig from it. Oh, so much better. This is turning out to be quite the army complement. Let's check our income tab here. We are almost dead even on income for the two teams. Let's check out our APM tab. 121 to 148. So, pretty much the same. Not too bad. Army tab, no. Units tab, yes. 33 harvesters for the Terran player and 39 for the Protoss. So you can see that the Protoss, that Chrono Boost really does kick out those probes, but in order to help make up for that discrepancy, mules were given to the Terran. Now it is 41 to 33. We can see we have 12 and 19. 12 Marauders and 19 Marines for the Terran player, which can be a very scary force, especially when you're going up against 6, 2, 3, 4. That's just a bunch of numbers. But, you know, 6 Sentries, 2 Stalkers, 3 Immortals, and 5 Zealots. 6 Zealots now, but still, that's a pretty sizable force. This Observer is just going to be following everything that they do. So he knows exactly what is going on. You can check his vision. You can see him coming down right now. That Observer, I'm surprised he hasn't noticed it to scout it and, or scan it and take it out. But he just hasn't. And it's just going to sit there and follow all of his movements. He's going to be taking out the high mineral expansion rockets here so that way he can get his extra income. Even going to be throwing down the command center early before the rocks go down so that way when it is completed. Ah, you can tell I'm from the south. When it is completed, you can lift it up and land it right there and go to work. You're going to be having the scouting factory, the thing that every Terran player does. It's going to go ahead and very slowly fly its way over, but will probably go down. But it is giving Rookie here all the information he needs about this army, because the whole army is attacking that thing. So he will be moving in here as those units are distracted. Will he be trying to come in down here through the south? Maybe not, as it looks like Halation here is going to kind of gather up at the front. He has a lot of Zealots. 18 Zealots to be specific. Scan going down exactly on those units. Check out our production here. Zealot Legs is now completed in now. There we go. And we do have some upgrades coming down for the Protoss, but the two, where are those two going to be? The two factories. Starport already done with reactor on it. Going to be getting 2 engineering bays, there we go, that are going to be getting double upgrades to help speed up his process. That factory is just going to burn away here in the middle of this Protoss base. If it did damage when it landed, that would be interesting and hilarious at the same time. Just land it over the, or fly it over the Nexus and then let it crash into it. You'd think it's a burning building that falls and explodes, so you'd think that when it fell, it should do some damage, but no. We do have a Templar Archives, yes, and he is going to be researching the Storm to help counteract this Bio Ball, but the Marines do have their shields and the Stim Pack, as well as concussive shells for the for the Marauders to battle the Protoss with. So we're going to see the Ghost coming out. It's a big question, because this is a heavy Immortals with these Archons, which I was not expecting. Good use of those High Templars until you have the research for Storm done. Get some extra Archons out there to help do their splash damage against these units, which do work well in clumps. So as you can see, we got armor and shields going down for the Terran, and armor's now started for the Protoss. Storm is almost done. He'll probably be moving out as soon as Storm finishes, because he does have a couple, yes, he does have a couple of High Templars, not quite up in the energy enough to Storm yet. 2 of them to be specific, and now they have the Storm available. Scanning the exact wrong spot, but let's check out our units tab again to see these large armies. It's going to be a 169 army versus a 160 army, so this is going to be a very even match, as the Terran does hold the watchtower there, so he will be able to see this whole massive force running up there as they do sprint towards the Marine. And he is actually well spread out here. Is he going to continue to spread? Sort of, yes. He's trying to do a nice concave. The force field doing what they can to split them up, but there's so many zealots in this mix. The force field aren't going to be able to do a whole lot. Storm's going down on the Marines and Marauders, but the medevac's doing what they can to keep the units healed, and they really just shoot through those units. So, the Protoss and the Terran will be forced to pull back and kind of regroup themselves, and that is really loud in my ears, so I will turn it down some. I really hope it's not overpowering in the microphone or in the speakers, because I'm going to have to yell over it, so to speak. So that was a neat little engagement. Storms, charge lots, and crack lots, or whatever you want to call them. Charge lots is fine with me. They don't have an attack increase like Zerlings, where you get the cracklings. Although I never really see anybody go for that that extra attack speed. And I guess they do later, but now we have the Ghosts out with their EMP shockwave. That is definitely going to cause a huge tide turner in this battle. What is this? We have a pylon here and a pylon here blocking 2 expansions for the Terran player, so he will not be able to take those expansions without Halation knowing. And we have a pylon going down now behind the base. And why is this probe gonna go over here? Is he just gonna run in through here and get attacked by these SCVs and then just kind of chill out right here? So he's actually getting a lot of scouting information. And EMP went down on these guys, but it knocking out the energy of those High Templars, but he did sacrifice himself in that maneuver. Ooh, we have Zealots warping in up here at the top. This SCV will see it, but they will just go ahead and ignore him and continue on, as this one probe is finally going to fall as that SCV will take him out. But these Zealots here are just going to be taking out all these units with the natural expansion. And they have almost every SCV down. Yes, now they're working on the buildings. All the SCVs are dead. Not the best move for Rookie. Is he going to move these units? Come on, click, click, click. Move them. There they go. Now they're going to go and try and save the base. But we do have a small engagement here. Lots of Hellions out now for Rookie to try and help counteract these Zealots, as they are considered light biologicals, so they do extra damage versus light. But it looks like the Stalkers will moved up and they are armored, so will not be quite the same. Is he going to do a kind of an end run around here, keep him distracted over here with the Hellions, and then take these Marines and Marauders to just pound on the expansion? We cannot let him keep those buildings, as he was just taken out at his natural. We'll back off here, bringing in the Hellions from the backside. Didn't really get much done. Storm going down on the Hellions, but they will be forced to back off. He does now control both watchtowers. These Hellions just can't decide what they're going to do. A couple Marines, or a couple Marauders, Marines, Ghosts are actually in that mix. Is an EMP going to go down? Yes, EMP goes down right there on those units. Marauders are now going to push their way in as well as these Hellions, but the Colossus is now out and now gone. As soon as I saw it, it was dead. Checking out reductions, see what else is going on. We have attack level 2 looks like coming out. Yes, it is. For the Protoss. But these Marauders are just too much, as they are now 2-2. They're going to take down this expansion, and all of these units will run their little happy butts back to their natural expansion. The Colossus trying to do what they can, gathering up units. The High Templars coming in, going to storm as best they can, but this looks like it's about done for Halation, as he is down to 72 versus a 157 army. This is going to be brutal, as more Hellions ignited Hellions. I don't know exactly how you would say that. Nope, not pre-ignited. It's just they have a little blue flame on the top that looks like they should be pre-ignited. Here they go. Protoss moving in. They're going to be throwing down the storms on those Terrans. And then the High Templars are going to kind of sack themselves. Storm going down. All of those units running right through it. They're all in the orange and the red, as you can see here. But it's just too much for the Protoss player here. And I think that is about it. Yes, it is. Halation, good games. And that is that. Whew. So that was a very, very good game. I liked it. We did see that Rookie here had 4 barracks, 2 factories, a starport with reactor, 2 factory with reactors. So, and he had 2 barracks with reactors too. Nope, no he did not. He had the, I see. You get the point. You see that? Was getting his natural resaturated, but he had almost mined out the gold. The gold for Halation was not nearly as mined out, although he was almost completely mined out in his main. So we had 2, how many warp gates did he have? Wow, 4, 6, 8 warp gates. So he had the warp gate capacity, he just didn't have the, I don't know what he didn't have exactly, the countdown timer, because Rookie here was just taking them out as fast as they could come in, especially with this large ball, and he also had the upgrade advantage 2-2 to 2-1, and was continuing those upgrades, I would assume. Nope, not quite yet. But that little attack from the back definitely might have forced that Terran player to just go ahead and attack when he didn't really want to. He might have wanted to get all the way up to 200. But either way, we shall never know. Anyway, thanks for watching, and have a good night.